All right, everybody. Of course, you all know me, Coach Ben Powell, work with Ben Powell. Today, I have a guest all the way from India this morning. She is there at 9:30 at night, had a long day already. He's done her personal development for the day. I would like to introduce you to my friend, Maroosh. And here she is. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story and how she's got to where she is today in her life. Go ahead, Maroosh. Let's have it.
Thank you so much, Ben, for inviting me to your show. It's a pleasure to be here. And to tell you a little bit about my story about business. We have known each other for a bit, and recently I put my story out there for the audience, and the main highlight was why failure can be your best friend. And which means I've had failures for many years. I wanted to be an entrepreneur when I went to college. I went to college as a history student. I was studying history and literature, but there was an accidental course, that I took up. It was called entrepreneurship. And honestly, at that time, English is not my first language. So I didn't know what entrepreneurship meant. So I go to this class and I learn about all these new concepts. And I'm like, what is this? I want to be this, I want to be an entrepreneur. So it basically started, in college. I was 20-year-old and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But at that time, I had no idea about entrepreneurship or the online business world. I had absolutely no idea. So it basically starts in the sixth semester of my college. I'm about to leave college after that, and I'm typing those words online. I believe everybody does, which is how to make money online. Because I didn't want to go for a job. I didn't want to just study further because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to pursue academics. And if people know, like Indian people, like Indian in South Asia, people are crazy about getting degrees. You have to get a degree. That is like very important. Even if you don't have a job, you have to get a degree. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be an entrepreneur and I will start my journey. So I did a lot of things first. I said, okay, I'm going to be a travel blogger. But I didn't quite know how to blog, how the entire business works. So even before I started, I failed. And after that, I was like, okay, let me start with e-commerce. And, I like the place where I come from. There were some unique things. I thought, I'll make a jewelry brand out of it or some fashion brand out of it. But I didn't know marketing. I didn't know how to handle all aspects of e-commerce. I didn't know how to make a product. I didn't know how to fulfill the product. I didn't know how to do packaging. I didn't know everything. I didn't know how to do customer service. And it was so overwhelming. I didn't know anything at all. So basically, then one day I'm just overwhelmed and I just thinking, how when will I see progress? How will I see progress? So one day I'm just sitting and I came across a guy. His name is, I think you know him. We were in the same circle, Sebastian Gomez, and his ad was there. And suddenly I watch his ad and he's saying something which makes sense to me because he was doing e-commerce at the time. And suddenly I start to follow him, watch his videos, watch his lessons, and it's making sense to me. And then it was first time in 2 years I registered myself for a mastermind because I thought if I need to learn something, I need to put in money over there so that I can learn from a person of experience and actually see how to do it. So that was my first step in investment. But as soon as I did that, as soon as I started learning about e-commerce, I realized, okay, maybe this is not for me because I was just 23 at that time and I didn't have a lot of experience to handle all of those things. So it was a major blow because I think I had invested around $1,000 over here, and here it's like way more than what it might be in Canada or US. $1,000 is a lot over here. And then it was a big blow realizing that this business model is not for me. But I didn't give up because I think that's what entrepreneurship is about. You just have to explore and you have to see what fits exactly for you. And there might be like, journey of figuring it out, but you eventually figure it out. And then finally I started to find my groove when I found this when the same mentor said, I also teach how to start organic traffic on Facebook, how to do that, and how to sell digital products on Facebook, okay, using organic traffic, which meant you don't have to invest in ads. Okay, so I was still, I didn't have a lot of money. I was like, okay, this is something which sounds game changer for me, because if I learn how to do organic traffic, if I learn how to master it, I don't have to put my money into ads, and I can give my time and I can learn organic traffic, but I can give time right now because I don't have money, so much money to invest. So that is when I kind of started. I took someone else's proven product to see if it would go hand in hand with Facebook organic traffic. And it was within 2 months I made my first sale. And that was like the game changer. And then I was like, okay, it works. But to tell you very honestly, that moment came after 3 years, okay? So these 3 years were full of struggling and trying to understand where I fit in, what kind of business models are there online, and failing continuously, trying and experimenting. It was really hit and trial to understand what will fit for me. And only after I found it, I had to work on it. And then I got my first sale. First sale only meant this works, which meant I had to start building my skills more to be able to build a sustainable, consistent income online. So basically, that's my background. Hope that made sense.
Oh, that is fantastic. That is a very lovely story. You know, I hear so many things from so many people, and it's we all have the same things. We have those failures, and when we make those first sales, it just shows it. Well, excuse me, that it actually works, and that we can continue on. And unfortunately, so many people don't get those first sales and aren't able to. Feel that excitement and just want to just continue on. But I'm just going to ask a little bit about what are your thoughts on building those friendships and engaging with the people that you actually meet online? Because so many people out there, they will just go out there and there's people saying, oh, you got to have 5,000 people on your list. Well, from my
Mhm.
experience, I've got less than 2,000 people on my list. And I know that Facebook only shows you a percentage of your friends, so it's pretty hard to actually um, uh, get to all those 5,000 friends unless you're going to spend all day, all night, every single day engaging with those people. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So basically, I think there's one thing I remember. One of my first mentors taught me is that about engagement and people and numbers online. So I don't believe that you need to have a large following online. You don't need to have huge following online in order to have a business around anything. But you have to understand that you are dealing with people. At the end of the day, you are dealing with people. So having engagement with them, any kind of engagement or interaction you're having with them, you have to, you really have to translate that thing into, like, how would you approach that engagement in a real life scenario. When you are clear about that, I think that's how you make progress with the other person. Because, see, the way, like, I specialize in Facebook organic traffic, and one thing I know about Facebook is that it imitates how humans behave in
Mhm.
real life, which means if you're sending a message to someone, okay, and they don't respond to you, and let's say in one day you send out 30 messages, if only, let's say, 5 people respond to you, Facebook will detect that you are a spammer. And how will it look like if you are out on a street and you are acting like a crazy person and you are saying hi to people, like, and they are just running away? Like, it would just be odd, right? When people are running away from you, it just means that, I don't know, maybe you're crossing the boundaries. So, in the same way, but when you send messages to people on Facebook and not in the right way as in how humans interact, they label you as spam.
Yeah.
Facebook labels you as spam. It decreases your reach. So about engagement, when you're engaging with people, what I like to do, what I like to remember is that I'm talking to a human being. So it's very important to build that relationship first. So whenever I add someone on Facebook, it is never about my business. My initial thoughts are, for example, I see some girl and she has a photo of yoga. So I'll be like, hey Catherine, just saw your photo doing yoga, and it's so amazing. I've been trying to inculcate this discipline in my life, and I want to improve. That is because Catherine loves yoga. She will respond to my message. And when, if I'm sending 10 messages a day to people, my goal is to get at least 8 responses back. And how will I get 8 responses back? Is when I really personalize the message. I
Mhm.
even hate when people say, I like talking to like minded people. It's not personalization. Go to a profile, go to a person, really see what they are sharing. Are they into spirituality? Are they into fitness? Are they into pets? Are they into something else? Try and navigate that a little and then make the connection. I think really, a human being will appreciate you. Let's say, Ben, you are uh, maybe passionate about tennis. Let's say, you are playing tennis somewhere around your house, and then you go there every weekend, and then there is maybe a shop close by to your house, and you are there buying something. Maybe someone comes to you, hey, I saw you playing tennis over there. I come to that place every Sunday as well. You'll be like, oh wow, it's all about making that connection. And when you make that connection, Facebook says you are a good person. You're a good person. And it starts showing your content to those people. And that's how you win the game. If you don't make the human connection, you don't get the responses. You only get maybe out of 10 people, only one will respond to you. And Facebook will say you are a spammer. They will not show your content to other people. And and we want to get as many responses as possible so that we are the good, like Facebook will label us as contributors, creators, so that our content is shown to more people, because marketing is about reaching out to more people, and that's what we want to aim for. Okay, so this is basically how my like strategy around building relationships is, and this is what I keep in mind. A person at the end of the day is sitting on a couch with real problems, and we want to make the first approach as a human being, not running after them, hey, buy my product, buy my product. So uh, that's basically the philosophy
That's
behind.
incredible. That is a very incredible story, Maroosh, and that is kind of the exact same thing that I am trying to get across to people, because I'm my inbox is getting so inundated with people these days. I don't even know people, and they're sending me their link. They're saying, "Hey, hi, how are you?" And then well, here we go again, right? So and so I've got to the point now where people that I don't know, when they're messaging me, I will go to their profile, like you're talking about, and a lot of times they have their settings set. You cannot even read what they've got on their profiles, so it is very hard to see what exactly they're about. And what that's telling me is those are the kind of people we need to reach. And
Right.
I'm going to be doing a master class on engagement soon, probably in the next few months. And that's one of the things I'm going to be teaching people, is how to have their settings set, because they need
Hmm.
to know that they have to be open to receiving, to get from other people, because people like yourself and myself and a lot of other people, that we want to talk to these people, we want to meet them, we don't want to sell them,
Hmm.
we want to
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
build that relationship. But when they don't have their settings set properly, it is hard for us to tell whether they're just one of these Forex Bitcoin people that want to steal our money, or if they're actually somebody that wants to build a relationship, build a friendship, get to know, like, and trust each other, and possibly learn from each other, buy from each other, or whatever farther down the line. But like you were saying, That's not the way to go about it on your very first message. And that is,
Absolutely.
and that's one of the things that
Absolutely.
I'm really trying to let all you people, anybody that's listening to this, Maroosh has made some very good points here. I hope that everybody has taken the time to stick it out this far. I know I don't normally do uh, lives for very long, but I've been increasing them just for these people because these people that I'm bringing you are very influential. They know what they're doing, they know how to do it. And if we, as the public, follow what I'm doing, what she's doing, what Troy's doing, what Stephanie's doing, and all these other influencers that I'm surrounding my people with, you cannot fail. If you just stick with it and keep on going, you're not going to fail. You're going to have a few setbacks, but in good time, you're going to see your engagement increase. You're going to see people that are going to want to engage with you. Just this morning, I actually woke up to a message from somebody that said, Ben,
Hmm.
I'm not your friend, but I have been to your profile. You look like and seem like a professional, and
Hmm.
I want to learn from you.
From
That
you.
is a red
Wow.
hot lead right there. That,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
anyways, Marusha, one more thing before we
And
go.
I want to add something here. I think, these kind of people only reach out to you when, apart from having engagements and conversations, you put out a lot of value out there. Something you are also doing continuously, putting out a lot of value out there by talking to experts and people, which shows people that Ben cares. Ben is showing up continuously to share value from where we can learn. So it's a very important thing. Show up for people, serve them, and there's no way why they will not buy from you. So this is
That's
something I wanted to add on to the message you got. That is because you have been showing up consistently. You have been adding value to the market. So I
that
wanted
is
to
great.
appreciate you for that.
That touches my heart to hear that from you. I've actually been hearing that from people, and I'm getting to the point now where I'm getting overwhelmed with love and friendship from people that I never thought would be there for me, and they are.
Right.
And it is an incredible feeling, and it's just great to start being the influencer that I wanted to be for all these years. Like I was talking to another lady this morning, she's going to be actually be on my live on St. Patrick's Day. She was talking about how she became an overnight success in 18 years. So that is the truth.
Important point. Important point.
Yes,
Important point. When we say overnight success, we don't count all the years we failed. But
that's right.
then, when I'm reading this book, it's called The Compound Effect. And I recently got this book from a friend, and today morning I was reading this chapter where the author was talking about the exact same thing. When you are doing something continuously, then there will be one day where it will compound to everything you have done all these years. So,
Yes.
overnight success in so many years, I think it's an important point, and thank you for sharing that.
That's right. It's like the snowball effect, right? It's the
Right,
same
right,
thing.
right,
You make that little snowball and it starts rolling and it gets bigger.
right, 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 right.
And soon it is so big you can't stop it. Anyways, everybody, this has been another great session. This is Maroosh from India and Ben Powell from Canada. I really like to thank everybody for coming on and listening to her story, listening to my stories and everything else all this time. It has been great, fantastic, loving day, full of gratitude. I would like to remind you to hashtag live or hashtag replay. I always stick this in at the end because I like it when people stick it to the end and they want to hear from us again. Thanks, Maroosh. I'm just going
Thank
to,
you, Ben, for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you. And keep sharing value. Take care.